Last episode, I made a cargo container that can carry packages wirelessly from one destination to another. Now, the reason I needed this was so that way I could get resources from the mall, well, over to a new building that, well, I haven't built yet. And what's going to take place in this new building? Well, the production of Lapis. Unlimited Lapis. Now, why would I need Lapis? Well, Lapis, believe it or not, has a ton of uses. So we have the ability to haunt this to produce prismarine shards and prismarine crystals, allowing us to make all of the different prismarine variants without needing to make, well, one of the most dreaded farms in Minecraft. That's right, a guardian farm. And yes, I just flew like 4,000 blocks to be able to find one of these just for that bit. Now back to the idea and concepting of the build that I want to do. I want this to be a very interesting building. This whole thing is going to be a white building, a little bit different than the building behind it, but the idea is that it is going to set on top of this bridge, or I guess we should better call it a monorail support beam. Now it's also going to have a copper roof that is going to be super slanted on this, and I kind of wanted to have this like Art Deco feel, well, much like a lot of the other buildings that I've been building. However, this one's not going to be as grand per se because it is going to be handling kind of a smaller farm compared to how I normally do things where I build the actual farm first. Well, this go around, I actually want to build the building and then put the farm in it. Well, like the library, kind of. And I did really enjoy doing that and having that limited space to work in, as it kind of forced me to be a little bit more creative in how I was ultimately designing the whole thing. Now, what I'm thinking for the roof is to continue using these waxed weather shingles, at least for right now, to be able to give it that nice light kind of greenish hue. And then after we get the whole thing built, we can come back in for some texturing. And same goes for the outer wall. The entire thing is literally going to be built out of mushroom stems. Overall, this is going to be a pretty simple and straightforward build, at least whenever we get the initial structure in, because once the structure is in, then we get to start doing some details that are really going to make this building pop. And by the way, this structure is for the most part going to be symmetrical. It'll be the same on this side as it is on this side. So using the wand of symmetry for this build is going to be perfect. Perfect. With the foundation of the build done, now I get to start, well, decorating all of the exterior, get the windows in and all of that fun stuff. And for the windows on this build, I'm going to be using the industrial iron, and I think that is going to look really, really nice. And then I'm also going to do that whole system where we have 3 of the full industrial iron windows and then the panes on the side that are going to lead all the way up. This is going to also be repeated on the other side since these are kind of symmetrical. Now that I've got the windows in, there is just something off about the outside, and it's just too flat. And I think we're going to have to add a lot of detail. And because this is a white building, I want to add staining. And so we're going to have some stains that run through the upper side. But to do this, I'm going to need a couple of blocks. As of right now, I have most of the palette for that laid out, where it is going to be weathered limestone and limestone that is going to blend in perfect here, but I am going to need another gray block that is going to come before the weathered limestone. And well, it's time for us to go visit Frog's wool farm again. And you know what? I still don't know why I haven't set up a wool farm. Like, it would be really helpful to set up a wool farm and actually get that connected into the mall, but for right now, I've just been buying it. So you know what? Maybe that's just how it's going to forever be. And I think it's still like a diamond for a stack or something like that. So like, yeah, even though I think Frog said it's not even a farm. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of those. That should be more than enough diamonds. Perfect for all of that wool. I really should give Frog like the rundown of how like the market stalls work, so that way she can actually have like a stall where all of the money is being stored, and like all of this is being stored into a vault and can be like pulled out and requested by all of us. Don't get me wrong, this system works too, but it would be really helpful to have like an actual place where we can all purchase it. Maybe once I get my path like lined out through here, because eventually I want to connect into this. So maybe whenever we get the path lined through, I can get all of that set up. I mean, all she has to do is basically connect up to the stock ticker. And yeah, so long as she links the stock ticker, it's going to be her claim. So that would make total sense. So here's what I'm thinking. Because we can instantly knock out some of these sections, what I want to do is knock them out like so, and then add a couple of sections where we have this gray wool that gets lined through here like this, and then we come in with the weathered limestone a little bit, just like that, and then we do regular limestone that kind of drips down where it looks like this really awesome staining. A little bit of time. I think that for at least the upper section, like I think that blends in really well. That's a really good texture going in from the gray down into the weathered limestone, which is just by washing regular limestone, by the way. And yeah, this all blends and bleeds in perfectly together. But now I think to add a little bit more depth, what I should do is also maybe add in some other sections. Like maybe right here, what I could do is break out a section to kind of give this a little bit more depth, because I feel like this area is like super open. And what I can do here is just add some other textures that are similar to the actual wall. For example, I can do limestone. Maybe we can do like some layered limestone along the bottom edge of this entire building. And then we'll take this up with some weathered limestone. Just almost look like there is some other staining going on. And then we can use cut limestone as another texture that does look a little bit lighter than the base tone. And so, yeah, that if I step back, this should give it a little bit more depth. I may need to take it up a little bit higher, but I need to do this in some of the sections also. So far, so good. I've got all of that weathering now on here. And now what I want to do is try to give this a little bit more depth on the windows. And I can do this by using the connected textures of these metal girders here on some of these sections like this. I can kind of have them connected, which makes them almost look a little bit rounded, but I still want the outer edge to still stay that industrial iron here. But that... Oh, and then maybe I need something to give it a little bit more depth on the outside, because as of right now, it does look very flat, which I mean, it's 100% flat, so it makes total sense that that's the case. So getting something in here to help with that, maybe some copycats. I really don't know. I definitely want a pipe coming out of here that funnels up to the top, and I know that's going to cover this area and give it a little bit more depth, but maybe I should add in some more bars and stuff onto the side wall. That would probably help. So I'm almost there. I think a couple more things that I really want to do is get a smokestack that is going to be sticking up like maybe here. And then also this needs to be a rather large smokestack. And then we can get those pipes running up and get them all connected in. Oh, and the smokestacks just bring it all together. This is so good. Now, like I said, I wanted to get that section where it looks like a pipe is coming out of here. So the way that I'm going to handle this is by using these, the large metal girders, which by the way, kind of look like pipes in themselves. And then I'm going to route that around a few blocks here. And then I think on the outer stop, what I'm going to place in is some industrial iron. That's going to go out here. Kind of make it look like it has curved, and then we'll place in a chute, and we'll start the chute going up just like this from here. And this I'm going to take all the way up until it almost wraps around from the very top. basically covering the position where I can have another connection. So we have that. I can go ahead and then bring the large metal girder off the side of this, bring that a couple of blocks and make it look like it's connected into the building. There we go. I mean, it's just like subtle things like this, I think, add a whole lot of detail. And you know what? Let me take a look at this again. We could probably double this whole thing up. I think that would look really cool to have 2 of these. Yeah, let's do 2. Oh yeah, with the 2, that looks even cooler. Now the outside's sort of done. I do want to line in the interior here with the industrial catwalks. And the reason why I want to use the catwalks is so that way we can actually see the train shuttling in and out. And this looks really cool. Along with the bottom, I also want this upper area to be like its own separate like station. And we can have some stairs that potentially lead up here. And maybe we could do like a spiral staircase that lead up to this. And if I do a spiral staircase, it's going to have to start here with this support leading all the way up. And we can start like this, for example, where we have this staircase running all the way up. And yeah, this is going to be more for looks than anything because I don't know how much I'll actually be walking up this. But this has led me to also trying to figure out how am I even going to get into the building? Like, I haven't even thought about that yet. I think this is going to be the perfect way to get in. Yes. Okay. So the way you enter into this building is technically through the library. So if you want to get up here, you have to follow the catwalk to get up into this section right here. And I think this is going to be the primary way to get in here because otherwise I don't think stairs are going to work. After all is said and done, I don't think that this is half bad looking for at least a factory building that I've built first before the factory. But now, if you have any suggestions on what I could add to this building to make it look even better, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. Now, with our beautiful build in place, I do want to get to building the actual infrastructure and get things transferred over. But before then, if you remember, I had made this beautiful thing. Yes, the spin cycle, which was a trap that we're supposed to use to take on Throwlash. Well, I mean, not really take him on, but to be able to kill Throwlash. That's at least the goal. And well, it's actually now time for that to happen.
Thanks everybody for coming to the first annual throw-off event. Woo! I wish I put firework dispensers out. Oh, anyways, this is a great event because, you know, I'm the one with the least deaths on the server, and I figured we should probably rectify that. Except for this weird. This is Lexi. Who the heck? Oh, hey, Lexi, what's up?
Hi.
What?
Hi. So Lexi's going to be our surprise judge for the day. Woo! Woo!
Hey.
Welcome.
Oh, it's
Thank
very
you.
surprising.
It's very surprising.
Yeah.
And then our other judges are Kev.
Okay.
Great introduction,
Okay.
Kev. You did great there.
Good morning.
And then-
I just sound like just like Kev. Hello.
And then
Sound just like
Giant Azu is our other judge for today. So for
fantastic.
today's event, I'm gonna grab all these diamonds here, over 2 stacks of diamonds up for prizes, first, second, and third for who can make the most ridiculous me dead. I guess is a good way to put it.
We're gonna win.
I was waiting for this day.
So we do have a volunteer to go first, which I believe was Blockdown and Froggy. Did you guys have a team name that you wanted to use for this, or
We'll decide. We'll decide.
this is the perfect team name?
Blocky and Frog Down is
We'll
what I call them.
decide. That is an awesome team name.
Jeepers. All right, let me
Why
just
is,
pick
why
up.
is everyone laughing at our team name?
No, because it's perfect.
No, it's
Wait,
fine. You have 1 minute to organize my storage room into those barrels.
Why am I moving? Why am I
An
moving?
incredibly slow-moving dipping mechanism.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Put it in there. Ah! I'm gonna
Oh,
keep
boy.
this. Why? Why? What's going on down here? Oh my god!
Yep.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Okay, bye. There's only one way
Yep,
out now.
There we go.
Ooh.
Feeling
Oh,
leading
a
me
lot
to
of
my
time and
death.
effort into this. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell what it does.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Stop. What?
What?
Don't go close. Don't go close to the.
Oh my god.
jeez.
Oh. Red light, green light type.
What do I do? What do I do?
For him not to have any items.
No.
It hurts.
Oh no!
Oh,
Jeez.
Well, I'm standing right here.
What? These
that's
stopped, didn't they?
the squeaking we've. Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Oh no! Oh no!
I want to get off the ride.
Oh no!
This is so good.
Right, so everyone else, you'll check the barrels in front of you.
I'm in free.
Don't throw any yet.
How can I? Oh, these ones.
No, I'm throwing. Oh, gosh.
oh.
Oh, I fell through. Here, let me jump a little,
Yep.
I guess. It hurts. It hurts.
Got him.
Ow, it
that's
hurts.
the plan.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, he died.
Thorlash, you can set your spawn here, put everything you have in that chest, all your armor as well. And then I suggest that everyone that's watching this and the judges as well use free cam to see what's going on.
All right,
What?
new hires manual. Welcome to an, oh gosh. New and exciting step in your career. At JC Enterprises, we value a strong support service. See, this is assuming that I can read, eggs. Then you'll be a great addition to our team. You'll be helping us by sorting out some of our tickets into 3 categories: copper button, easy and non-important problem. Oh. Weathered but harder but still non-important problems, and oxidized, severe, and problems that can't wait to be solved. Plan, team, idea, work. Oh, okay. The secret of getting ahead is getting started.
Right,
Work hard.
You
dream
get to
big.
go. You get to take a seat, and I will
Okay.
kickstart the system for you.
Okay, and I just click the buttons. Oh, I forgot what my instructions were already.
You have one job.
Press the buttons.
Secret of getting ahead. That's your job.
Yeah.
Uh.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, the SPS is awful. Yeah, that's not important. Ow! That hurt.
Because of CC. What's the CC block?
Oh yeah, I guess that is kind of important. We should.
Copycat.
Complaints are costing too many levels. No, that's not important at all.
Is this all of our complaints?
That's yeah.
Oh,
that
this
is
is-
extreme. Ow!
Is this our complaints?
Yep.
Sam smells like an old can of
Oh
tuna.
no!
Please shower. That is also an issue. Yep.
Kevs is in
Needs
here.
to be handled immediately. Froggy needs to light up my base. Yep. That's a huge issue.
That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Why do you not solve any of these problems? That is a major issue. Ow! Why is there only white bread? Yeah, nice like loaf of rye or sourdough. Can someone get rid of the baby chickens? No.
No.
Those are a delight. Can I join the SMP?
Yeah.
That is a major
192.164. There's the IP.
Ow!
Yeah,
Say
you're-
We did it. Oh my gosh. I just got done doing tech support. You made me do it again.
Great.
Yep.
Chosen, is this destructive? Do we need to go somewhere?
Yeah,
or-
we'll just
Oh,
need to. Yeah, we
thank
just
you.
need to go out here.
Okay.
You just follow me real quick.
Assume Chosen's is in his pocket.
What do you mean it's in my pocket?
Well, everything yours is in your pocket. Your ball's probably in your
Just need to
pocket.
go down here.
Mine was in my pocket until like
Says the
20
guy who started the server with a base in his pocket.
Well, I wasn't allowed to keep it.
I mean, you guys, everyone may want to set their spawn.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah,
I'm missing a
everyone.
bed.
Dead
Okay,
now.
there we go.
I'll stand back and use free cam, I think.
everyone might want to.
Yeah.
I go hide.
Whoa!
Wait,
Oh,
what's that? Oh God.
He's just put him straight in it. Amazing.
This is amazing.
That's actually pretty
Wow.
cool. So that's
Oh my
just a
gosh.
tumbler full of saws.
Okay, but like do it
Amazing.
again. That was hilarious.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to pack up too. You pack it up,
I'll do it be in his pocket.
and yeah.
Hang on,
So-
let me go on one piece
That
of
was
dirt.
so fast.
Yep.
This is hilarious.
Now, I hope you enjoyed the supercut of all of that ended up happening. If you want to see the full section, be sure to check out Throwlash's channel, where he is going to have the entire thing all put together And well, I only got third, but at least I didn't come in last. I think overall that was a really fun competition, and it was pretty exciting to be able to see what everybody put together. And like I said, if you want to check out all of the other cool things more in depth, be sure to check out Throwlash's channel. All right, now it's time for us to get back to, well, automating. So with that, the first thing on my to-do list is going to be getting some resources in for the things that we are going to need to automate. And that's why I built this train. For the farm that I want to put up here, there's only a couple of things that we need to technically move from the mall over to this area. One of those things is going to be black dye, but most importantly, we're going to need to get nether quartz over here. Black dye we'll worry about a little bit later. Nether quartz is my primary objective. So the first thing on my to-do list is get some sort of storage in place so that way our train can deliver the quartz. So we are going to need a direct storage location for our quartz. So I'm thinking like somewhere here might be good. We don't need a super big storage for this. We just need enough to be able to store and give us access. So I don't know what a max size 2x2 can be, but that's probably what I need, right? So yeah, it looks like right about there. That's as big as we can get this storage. Now, instead of using our logic system to take all of our quartz and send it here, I think I would just want any excess quartz that we overproduce. Instead of doing our shutoff system that we're doing, I want it to send to here. But to do this, we're gonna have to force it to send a package. Before we just start putting packages on our chain network all willy-nilly, we need to give it a specific place. In the last episode, I showed how you can use Postbox to send packages through your train without even needing a physical connection. And so if I place a Postbox that's connected to this, and anything that goes in here that is labeled whatever I put in here, let's say main post, which is what we're going with for our name, and then we put an asterisk here. This is going to take anything that is prefixed with main post, and then if we say quartz, for example, it isn't going to really matter. This is just going to consume anything. In our case, though, this one is being very specific, and I do want it to say quartz. And the reason for this is because this is going to be the container where quartz gets sent. Then to get the quartz into here, because it's going to receive a package, we're just going to put a packager connected to the vault. So when the package goes in, it gets unpackaged and the quartz goes into the container. Back on the receiving end over here, we have ourselves a post box that is connected down here. And this post box, by the way, has a frog that is connected to it. And this one says main post. Now, this post box is not labeled in any way. It's just simply going to be taking a package, and then the train is going to pick up the package whenever it goes into this post box. And then the train is going to deposit it into the post box that has the correct address. So the main work here is going to be the main post frog. So anything prefixed main post, make sure that it sends it to our main post, which is going to be this area. Now, to make things even more complicated, over here, we're going to have to get another packager that is on this, and we're going to need to read the information from this. And instead of shutting off, which currently this is shutting off the flow of soul sand, we want to make sure this stays constantly flowing. So instead of the redstone link shutting this off, instead, we'll just have another packager. And so when the packager receives a redstone signal, it is then going to send that, it's going to create a package based on the label that we put on it, which in our case is going to be main post quartz. Then with this, we just need to have a frog that is connected up to the chain network, so that way it sends it all the way up to our post box. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to technically, I think, change the sign position. And the reason I have to do this is so I don't interfere with anything else that's happening over here. So we'll move our sign, and we'll put the sign on this side. And then I need to copy the settings from this redstone link. And then I'm going to remove the redstone link from here, which is technically shutting it off, so to let it constantly flow, and then place this over here. So now, whenever I paste this in and put this into receive mode, whenever this gets backed up completely with quartz, which as of right now, it's not doing, but whenever it does get backed up with quartz, it should send a package through this frog out to the post. Now, currently it's not because the diorite is being voided at the moment. To make this actually work, I am going to have to shut this off. So instead of it voiding from our diorite, instead what we're going to need to do Well, we're going to need to take our diorite and we're going to need to shut this brass funnel off. So this means brass funnel, you can go. Also, lava cauldron, you can go. And instead, we'll put a new redstone link on here that's going to receive a redstone signal. And then this redstone link, we can say, use our pickaxe, it doesn't really matter. And then diorite, just like so. And then we'll copy the settings with our clipboard. And then we'll just paste it onto this redstone link. So let's just go ahead and get that set there. Paste the settings by punching, and then put it in receive mode. And notice that stops. And because this is at a certain threshold, that should stop allowing this to build up. And then once this builds up, then this will send the package. And I know this is a lot of logistics, but through the series, this all should come together to make sense. That is just the beauty of Create, is once you think you have a system in place that works, if you need to add or modify anything, well, things have to change. And notice, by the way, the package has gone up and is going into the post, and this should have sent 9 stacks of nether quartz. After making it over here, the hope is that I have quartz in here, and I do, which means that our post system definitely worked. This is so good. Now, the main thing I'm going to have to get into working, well, is going to be the looping of the blue dye. I'll worry about black dye later on, but the main thing we need is to get this lapis loop started. Now that we've got quartz, getting the looping section is going to require some stress units. So we've got to get some stress into here. And I'm thinking the best way to do this would probably be to just pull some rotational power and get it sent directly into the side of the building. And wouldn't you know it, we have the perfect place to do this. And right out this side it goes, which we just got to get it right into the bottom of the room here. Yeah, that's going to work out perfect. I'm thinking to keep things super duper clean, I mean, using a gearbox to be able to get this over here is probably going to be the nicest way to do this. Like, this is going to keep things super clean so that way we can get our rotational power from here all the way over here. And also the same will be the case for getting it up to the top level. We'll just boop the chain connection, and beautiful. Now, because we are going to be receiving a lot of quartz coming in here, and eventually the whole system will back up, and we'll want to make sure this doesn't overflow because it'll void and kind of break the entire system down under the mall. We got to make sure to void this. So just like we've done before, I'm going to place a threshold switch, and then we'll just set this to stacks, scroll this bad boy all the way up till it's basically completely maxed out, then drop it down a couple, and then invert the signal so it powers on and then lets off when it reaches that certain value. Then we can slap this on here, and anything that's in here will be voided out if this maxes out. Now, the looping scenario to produce infinite lapis, which is going to be the core of this entire thing, does require something very specific. So we are going to have to crush lapis, and this is where we actually get our bonus, is whenever we crush it. Now, we don't have to use crushing wheels. We can actually use the mill, and it gives us the exact same rate. So a mill is going to be more optimal here, I think. Maybe a little bit slower, but in this farm, it's not going to matter too much. I think the convenience of having it smaller is a good thing. So after it gets milled, we want it to send out onto a depot. And then this is where we're going to use the power of mechanical arms. So the finished product will go to the depot. A mechanical arm will pick up the actual dye and send it into our mixing basin. And this basin is going to be constantly receiving some nether quartz. So I've got to get nether quartz routed into the back somehow. Just for some fun, having a bunch of item drains that are just sending a single item out at a time just not only is visually appealing, but honestly works. Like, it's just going to send straight out and run straight through if we have a depot here. And so this is just about ready to go. We just need to say funnel these items into here, and now we have a constant supply of nether quartz. Now, once the mechanical arm has picked up and placed the blue dye inside of the basin, we need to do something very specific here. This is where we're going to do our initial split. So because this produces up to 3, we are always guaranteed 2 with a little bit of bonus. What we are going to be guaranteed is always be able to split 1 back off to go back into the loop to make more lapis, which is ultimately what we need to do. So to do a perfect split and guarantee it every time, over here, we are going to tell it, hey, only allow lapis to be pulled out. And then we also want to set this to exactly 2. And the reason we want to do this is so that way we can use an andesite tunnel. And one of the special features of an andesite tunnel is when there's another line connected to it, for example, like a depot, it's always going to try and split off one item off of the belt. So one item off the stack should always be split. And so in this case, Lapis should come in and it should be split off onto here and also one onto here, because this is the line continuing on. And then we can have a mechanical arm take the item from here and, well, put it onto this belt right here. And this is where we don't have to worry about too much. The mechanical arm can just do all the work for us. The only thing we have to do is make sure that we have a filter for our blue dye to go into the basin here, and then a filter for our arm to know where to put the lapis. And so with those in place, now we can set these destinations as our input. And then up here, let's see, I do need to set this to a block that it can't specifically target. Let's place that there and there. Place a gearbox up here temporarily because I want to place this upside down. So it needs a block to be placed upside down on. And then our mechanical arm, these will be 2 input locations that it's pulling for the loop. And these will be our 2 output locations. And that's really it. We shouldn't even have to configure anything else on there. Now I've just got to get power hooked up. So I can connect power, run that through here. And then what I'm thinking is we can connect shaft power through this, probably in case chain drive, and hopefully this is spinning the correct direction. Is it? Yes, our belt is spinning. We can drive power directly through here. Oh, this is going to work out perfectly. Okay, and then a vertical gearbox on this side. And then all I'm going to need is a cogwheel, and the mill is powered. So, I mean, technically this whole thing is ready to start looping. The only thing I really want to do though first is I want to be able to get the actual lapis from this depot, which would be our finished product, and then fill it into this vault right here. So because it's only going to be one item at a time, it's nothing crazy. And I know I could send it directly into the actual funnel, but I really want it to send to the depot to show it pulling from this depot and sending here back and forth. And to do that, we'll just use a mechanical arm. This will be the input and this will be the output. And then I've got to get this some power. And so a little bit of shafty power moving through, and this is powered up, ready to go. So the only thing I should be able to do to start this up is place in our blue dye, which should end up right here, or place in our lapis, which should end up right here. And that should start the initial loop. And yes, we already have a lapis, which looks to me like it is doing the split that I wanted it to do. And that everything seems like it's functioning. First try. Oh, this is good. And even better, I've got this fitting in this like section so perfectly. Like it's so symmetrically fitting in here. Oh, it's good. Oh, and how much better can it get? Even the bar that I was going to have look like it's holding everything is perfectly aligned in the center of the roof. If that's not satisfying, I don't know what else, what is. I think this is a fantastic stepping stone. We now have tons of lapis being produced, and we are going to need a ton of lapis. Because if I plan on turning this lapis into blocks, I'm going to need a lot of it. And this right here is just merely the start of this operation facility, as I'm going to need crafters. I'm going to need all kinds of other stuff. We've got to get black dye over here. There's a lot still that has to be done. And I think the majority of that is going to happen on this side of the building. But that's going to have to wait for another episode, because today I am just simply all tasked out. And I hope you did enjoy today's episode, and hopefully you learned something new. And if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below, by the way, what you thought of this build, as I would love to hear any suggestions that you have about it. And well, guys, without further ado, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Nox Does Tats. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting my content in one of the best ways possible. Thank you guys so very much. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.